Good day, everyone. I am the next presenter of this topic. So my topic was all about sentences. So first, I am defining what is sentence. So what is sentence? So sentence from the word sentence is from the Latin for to feel, and the adjective form of the word is sentential. So the sentence is traditionally and adequately defined as a word or group of words that expresses a complete idea and that includes a subject and a verb. So a sentence is the largest independent unit of grammar, and it begins with a capital letter and ends with the period, question mark, or exclamation point. The next one is what is subject? So, the subject of the sentence is the person, place, thing, or idea of doing or being. So, the subject is sometimes called the naming part of a sentence or clause. So, the subject is most often a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. So, it's easier to find subject of a sentence if you first find the verb. Remember, a verb is any word used to describe an action. So, a state or an occurrence. Ask yourself who or what verb in this sentence. So, the answer to that question is the subject. So, how we define subject of a sentence? How to find the subject of a sentence? So, here we are having an example. So Rachel ate her breakfast. So the verb in this sentence is the word ate. It describes an action that Rachel took. So let's ask question who or what ate. So Rachel did. So is the subject of this sentence. So what is predicate? So the predicate of the sentence is the part that modifies the subject of a sentence or clause in some way. So the predicate specifies what the subject is or thus tells what is done to the subject. So because the subject is the person, place, or thing that a sentence is about, the predicate must contain a verb explaining the subject thus. So there are types of predicate. So first is predicate maybe many words or just a single word. So the verb. So example, Felix laugh. So Felix is the subject and laugh is a verb. So it is a predicate with a single word. So the next one is a predicate may be word group made up of a main verb and any helping verbs. So example, Winnie will sing. So Winnie, in the next example, in our example, will sing is the predicate. So notice that the helping verb is will. So come before the main verb sing. So Winnie will sing. A predicate may also be a complete verb phrase that is the main verb and all the words related to the verb except the subject. So the grass is always greener on the other side. And we have four English sentence types. These are declarative sentence or statement, interrogative sentence or something question. Third is imperative sentence. This is commanded, and fourth is exclamative sentence or exclamation. So first is the declarative sentence or statement. They tell us something, so they gave us something information, and they normally end with a full stop period. So it is a subject plus verb. So we have an example. I like coffee. I do not like coffee. We watched TV last night. We did not watch TV last night. So it has a subject and verb, and it ends with period. That is the declarative sentence. So the second one is interrogative sentence, or they ask some question, they ask something, or they want information, and they always end with question mark. So example, do you like coffee? or don't you like coffee? Why did you go? Why didn't you go? So you are asking a question, and it ends with it ends with a question mark. So the third one is imperative sentence. So it give a command or they tell us to do something and end with a full stop period or exclamation mark point. So for example, stop. Do not stop. Give her coffee. Don't give her coffee. So it tells us to do something. So stop. You need to stop. And it ends with sometimes exclamation, sometimes period, and that's it. So the next one is exclamative sentence, exclamation. So it expresses strong emotion or surprising. An exclamation, and they always end with the exclamation mark or point. So for example, what a liar he is. What an exciting movie it was. How he lied. How exciting the movie was. So our example was expressing a strong emotion or something that's surprising, and that is exclamative sentence. So let's proceed to the five basic sentence pattern in English. So we have um, subject uh, subject plus linking verb plus complement. So these are include the subject, linking verb, and the complement. Complement. Linking verbs are the types of verbs that join the subject with an adjective or another noun. Sometimes commonly used linking verb include be, are, is, was, were, and seem. So a sense verb is a verb that describes one of the five senses. We have five senses in our bodies. Those are sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. So here are some examples. So first is she looks happy. So our subject here is she, and our linking verb is looks, and our complement is the happy. Second one is example, orange and yellow are bright colors, and then orange and yellow is our subject. Linking verb are and complement bright colors. The third example is the food tastes bad. So subject here is the food, and the linking verb is tastiest, and then complement is bad. So it's describing an object. So she looks happy, the food tastes as bad, orange and yellow are bright colors. So it can describe any thing, any person. That's it. Let's proceed to the second one. It is subject plus intransitive verb. So when learning the basic sentence pattern, um, these are the simplest sentence type. So it includes just the subject and an intransitive verb. Grammatically, intransitive verbs do not need a direct object. So unlike transitive verbs, verbs belong to this type don't answer the question what. So in the most cases, dynamic and locomotive verbs or verbs that expresses movement belong to this sentence pattern. So we have an example. So she swims, the book fell, Peter marches, Peter sneezes, evil exists. So um, we have subject and our intransitive verb. She is our subject, and intransitive verb is swim. The book is a subject, and fell is a intransitive verb, and so on and so far. So let's proceed to the third one. Subject plus transitive verb plus direct object is this pattern includes a subject, a transitive verb, and direct object. Here we use transitive verbs, which means that we need a direct object. So the trick here is to make sure that our verb answers the question what. So we have an example. So they are baking cookies and cakes. So the subject here is they, and then our baking is the transitive verb, and then direct object is cookies and cakes, and then the second one is the butter heat. The butter heat the ball. So the subject here is the butter, and the transitive verb is the heat, and then direct object is the ball. So the fourth one is the subject plus transitive verb plus the indirect object plus direct object. So this type includes the subject, the transitive verb, and indirect object and indirect object. So we have an example. So Mary lent Josh money. So our subject here is the Mary, and then lent is our um, uh, transitive verb, and Josh is indirect object. So the second one is he gave the money. So our subject is he, and then transitive verb is gave, and indirect object is him, and then direct object is the money. So that's it. And the fifth one, the last, subject plus transitive verb. This subject transitive verb plus direct object plus object complement. So this sentence includes uh, um, uh, complement object complements describe a direct object. So we have an example. So she called the boy attractive. So she is our subject, and called is our transitive verb, and then direct object is the boy, and then object complement is attractive. So the second example is they painted the house blue. So our subject is they, and then transitive verb is painted, and then direct object is the house, and then object complement is blue. So those are the five kinds of sentences. So why sentence is important? So the sentence is one of the most basic building blocks of communication. So making sentences clear, concise, and complete is fundamental. So sentences also it conveys messages, enable to us to communicate in our um, loved ones, in our uh, best friend, in our family. We need to have a sentences. So sentence is also helping us and guide us to use it better and properly. So that's it. That's all my report. Thank you for listening. That's all.